Hi there, Dr. Aksha Sharma here from Cosmeteer. I help women feel confident, look amazing and natural, and achieve radiant, healthy skin for life. So today's topic that I want to cover is how is stress in your life affecting your skin? And the first question really is, you're probably thinking, am I stressed? And you could have a think about that. And at this point in time, you might not be stressed. You might be chilling, having your lunch or your dinner or whatever. But actually, when we talk about stress, it's not just about in this moment in time, it's about a lifetime of stress. So really from when you were born until now, there'll be lots of stresses and strains that your body and your mind have had to endure. And those all will have an impact on both your overall well-being, but also your skin. Now there's three main types of stress. And I'm not going to go through them in detail, but I just want to mention them. So you've got your mental stress, which is obviously how we know it if our head feels all clogged up with lots of details and it's just there's loads to do and we're just stressed, and it's the normal kind of, most people would recognize it as we feel stressed because there's just, we can't think, they need some time alone, they need some peace. That sort of, there's that stress. It can be a much lower level of stress, so I don't want you to think that actually stress is just when you've got to that point, because that's probably the other end of the spectrum. So you could just be the starting off of stress, where things are just starting to kind of bubble, and they're not quite surface where you feel the stress. So that's your mental stress. And the physical stress. And the physical stress can be both ways. Either you may have worked out, or your body's just enduring a lot of physical. You've done a lot of hard work or lifting or working out, and there's a physical. Your body is just exhausted, or it could be the fact that your body's actually not getting enough exercise. So that works both ways, and you need to be aware of which of those that you fall into, if either of them. And then the third one is environmental stress. Environmental stress will include all the pollution that's around us, all the infections that are flying around. It'll be the free radicals that we're exposed to. It will be in our diets. It will be in the things that we're using on our skin. It'll be the things that the household items that we're using. So there's loads of environmental factors that could affect our stress levels. Now, you might be asking, well, how do I know that I am stressed? And like I said earlier, yeah, it might be that your head's about to explode and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm stressed. But more often than not, we're not really very sure that we're stressed. Like, we're not aware of the stress. It's just kind of, it's just under the surface, it's bubbling over, and it doesn't really, it doesn't reach a point where we've reached a point where we think, right, this is it, we're really stressed. And I think it's really interesting to note that actually as human beings, our stress levels can accommodate for where we are. For instance, if your stress levels are here and you feel you're stressed here, the next time round, you will probably adapt to those sort of stress levels, and that will then become your new norm. And so when you're stressed again, you'll have to go a little bit higher than that, and your new norm becomes that higher level. Now, this new norm is not really very good for you. Just because you're able to tolerate it, and that it takes you a lot longer to recognize that you're stressed, doesn't mean that it's good for you. And I think it's really important for us to realize that when we're stressed, even at those lower levels, we kind of have to deal with that stress before it gets to that higher levels, and we've then adapted to it at that higher level. Because every time we are stressed, our body is under pressure, and everybody will manifest that stress very, very differently. So some of the ways that we manifest stress is the lower immunity, so you'll be more prone to catching coughs and colds. Maybe if you're feeling a little bit healthier, if you're not so stressed, you may be able to fight those off a lot easier than you would do if you were stressed. A very, very common theme for people who are stressed is aches and pains. You might get neck pain, you might get back pain. You're generally feeling just like a bit kind of, I suppose you feel like a bit tense is probably a good way of putting it. Your skin may feel itchy, it may be irritated, it will be sensitive, but I'll go into skin a little bit more in a few minutes. You may have headaches, so obviously aches and pains, headache being a major one. And your mood, you may be prone to more mood swings. So you may feel that, that there's this kind of, from going from being fairly chirpy to feeling really low. Or it might just be that you're feeling like, there's too much to do, don't know how I'm going to do it. So your mood and your general feeling, you might just be feeling a little bit lower than usual. Your hair, you might be prone to losing your hair if you're really stressed. And also nails become brittle as we become more stressed. In terms of your skin, as we become more stressed, our bodies produce more cortisol, and that's a steroid, and that steroid can then cause more oil production, so we might be prone to more breakouts. It also reduces how quickly your skin cell cycle turns over. So, for instance, your skin has to go through its 5 layers to get from the lower level to the higher level, which is where the dead skin would come off. And that cell cycle, that healthy cell cycle, which should be about 28 days, but more often than not is about 48 days, 60 days for a lot of people above the age of 30. That cell cycle is reduced, and it takes a lot longer to work, and therefore you get very dull, tired looking skin as well. But overall, stress definitely affects your skin. So someone coming into the clinic, I had a lady come in the other day, and she walked in and I could tell instantly that she was looking stressed. She was just, her skin was looking like it had lost its colour. It was looking quite pale, except it did have areas of redness as well. So although it was pale, it had her cheeks, her chin were quite red and inflamed, and she just didn't look like she was healthy. And so I think it's really important that we look at stress as an overall picture. It's affecting our bodies, and if it's affecting our bodies, it's going to manifest and be seen through our skin, because that's kind of like the window to what's happening underneath. So I think it's a really, really important topic, and a really important thing that we have to deal with, especially with the busy lifestyles that we lead today. So I have 7 tips that I feel could help reduce stress levels, or at least try to help you control your stress levels. Now I know that it's very difficult to control stress because our lives, like I said, they are so busy. We've got so much to do. We're trying to jam pack everything into our days. But nonetheless, I think that there's a few things that we can do that will overall hopefully reduce your stress levels. So the number one thing, I think, with anything actually, but really with this in particular, is to get to the root cause of your stress. And yes, like I said earlier, it will be a lifetime of stress, but it may be at this particular point in time you are stressed about a particular thing, and you need to get to what that is, and perhaps find some small solutions to it, so that you feel like you are dealing with that particular problem. That in itself may help reduce your stress, or alternatively, it may be something you need to get help with. So you need to determine that yourself. The second thing is, emotion is changed by motion, and that's a very famous saying by somebody that a transformational guru that I really love listening to, Tony Robbins. And he will say that if you are feeling low, you need to move. You need to let your blood move around your system, and that will change your emotion. So I think it is really important that if you are emotionally, you're feeling a little bit low, that things are not quite going the way you want them to, maybe just go for just have a break for a minute and walk around for a minute. Go get a cup of tea or a glass of hot water, which is really what you should be drinking, and change your emotion that way. Doing exercise, if you're not in the routine of doing regular exercise, whether it's walking outside or going to the gym or playing a team sport, whatever it is, try to do a little bit of exercise every day. Recommended amount obviously is 30 minutes. every day if possible. Your sleep is absolutely crucial. I know that's something I struggle with because there's so much to do in the day that our sleep is probably the first thing that kind of we end up compromising on. So I think it's really important that we try to get our 8 hours of sleep a day, but if not, at least be mindful of the fact that you need to get your sleep. Your sleep is a priority in your life. A tip might be that don't have a device on at night when you're in bed. There's lots of studies now to say that having IT devices on whilst you are in bed will make it much harder for you to fall asleep, and is actually can be a contributing factor towards insomnia. So get rid of the IT devices at night. Maybe pick up a novel if you can, maybe read something else that you're interested in, something that you find relaxing, and that is going to help you get into that rhythmic sleep that you want. Skincare. So with regards to skincare, I feel that stress will have a major impact on your skin, like I've mentioned, and one of the things that you have to consider is your skincare making your skin worse as well? And it may well be that the wash that you're using is not appropriate for your skin. You may, if you are prone to having red, dry, irritated skin, you may well need a cream cleanser rather than a gel-based cleanser. If you're using wipes to remove your makeup, it may well be that the chemicals that are in those wipes are causing stress on your skin, because the chemicals are there to preserve the wipe for as long as possible. You're then putting those chemicals on your skin, and those are usually fairly abrasive and can harm your skin both on the outside but also penetrating into your system and causing general health problems. So be aware of those, please. Outside, are you using your SPF? Now, I talk about SPF, sun protection, a lot, and it is absolutely crucial, especially at this time of the year, to lock in that moisture, but also to protect yourself from the environmental stresses that are around us. For your skin, as normal, you need to be drinking lots of water. I cannot stress that enough. Warm, cold, or hot water, it doesn't matter. Whether it's fruit teas, green teas, it doesn't matter. Caffeinated tea you need to keep to a minimum, because that will cause a diuretic effect, and you need to be aware of that. Other things that you could be adding, other nutrients that you could be adding to help your overall well-being, as well as your skin, in not just in times of stress, but since we're talking about stress, for stress as well, would be maybe a magnesium supplement. Because magnesium is a fairly relaxant type of mineral, and most women in the population will not be having enough magnesium, will not have enough magnesium in their diet. So I would really look into that. Omega-3 and 6 oils, I've spoken about those before. Udo's blend choice blend, Udo's oil, if you Google it, you'll find that. It has your essential fatty acids in it, which is going to help reduce your stress, as well as help your well-being and your skin. So I would really, really recommend looking that up and perhaps adding a tablespoon of that to your breakfast in the morning. The other thing that may help is increasing the friendly bacteria in your gut, because with probiotics, because increasing the friendly bacteria in your gut can actually reduce your stress levels as well, because our digestion is very much related to our stress. Again, if you're stressed, it may well be that you're getting tummy aches and your digestion has slowed down, and the probiotics can help that, as well as generally helping with stress in your body. So I hope that helps. And it was the video has been a little bit longer than usual today, but I'm hoping that you get lots out of it. If you want any more information, you can contact me, Dr. Rachna Sharma, at rachna@cosmeteer.com, or you can give me a ring on 01525 611 035, and I look forward to all your questions and comments. Take care. Bye bye.